And by the way, I sold for 6 weeks and then stopped, but I stayed out in Austin for 4 months. I sprayed. Okay, that's what I did. All right. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Sisterhood Unscripted Part 2. If you haven't seen Part 1 of us talking about finances and how that played a role in our past, go ahead and watch that video so that this video makes sense. But we're just going to jump right into it and start talking about what our financial life looks like now. So,
Yeah, who wants to start? I feel like you guys might be familiar with this because it's been a popular trend, but people have been working on like their scarcity mindset and learning to switch over to like abundance mindset. Because we're in an era where affirmations and manifesting your life is kind of popular. And so yeah, I feel like that did help me in a way because I was like, wait a second. I actually do have financial trauma. I actually do have so many fears that make me feel like I'm so poor. Like I'm just always gonna be poor and all of that. And so I was like, girl, we gotta switch that up. As silly as sometimes affirmations can be and all of that, I feel like it's been really, really helpful to believe like I do actually deserve financial stability and abundance in the future and even in my current life as I'm working on all of that, I deserve to feel secure and stable. And so yeah, I feel like my journey has been really interesting. And I was telling them earlier that because based on what we grew up with, I had to become super independent early on, um and even in my life today I still feel so responsible for myself financially, and that can be so overwhelming sometimes. And I recently graduated with my master's in 2023, and so it's been almost a year and a half of full graduation. And I just, for the first like 6 months post graduation, I had so much financial anxiety to the point where I was like, I'm not working enough, I need a second job, like I need to be hustling, I need to use my time wisely. Because like once you go from an intense master's program where you're so busy and then to post graduation life, you have so much more time. Like even if you're working at like a 40-hour job, a 40-hour week job, like you have much more time than you did in school. You're not worrying about homework, you're not worrying about exams. And so I felt like I had to fill up my time and make money like every chance that I could get. And so I did. I got a second job for a little bit, and then I was like, no. I'm a traumatized little girl who's never had time to rest. I wasn't resting at 14 years old, so now I can rest. And I just kind of learned to stick with my one job and be okay with that. But it was really tough, and it still is tough sometimes. I'm still finding myself being like, I need to do more. I need to earn more.
yeah. I feel like I have always been delusional with money. And honestly, it's dad's fault. Like, why would you give me $50 if you didn't have it? Like, I don't know where you got it, but
That's funny.
I don't want to know what that means.
and so I feel like I've always had that the mindset of like, oh, I'm gonna be okay. Which I is delusion. It really is. Like, I don't know. It's just not okay to think like that because I got myself into scary financial situations. And I just remember my freshman year of college, like I never said no. If we were going out to eat or going out to do something, like I was there because I thought I had all the money in the world. Budgeting, never thought about it. Saving, never thought about it. And I got to a point too, there would be times where I'd be thinking like, how can I save? Like, there's no point in me saving $5 or $20. And then I think that my freshman year of college went that way because I was getting scholarships. But then the older I got in college, the less money I received, and so the more I realized like, oh, I actually need to be smart with my money. But it did not come easy. I had zero self control, and I had a period where I was just buying anything and everything. My goodness, I talk about materialistic, but not even in the sense that not negative or positive, just literally having so many materials. I was buying everything. Um, and it's so funny because contrast that to now where I'm like trying to live that minimalist lifestyle because it saves you so much money, time, effort, space. I just personally feel so much better when I don't have 8 million things in my room or in my bathroom. Not to mention influencer culture
Yeah.
takes a stab at your wallet.
Yeah. You also did like summer sales, and so did that,
Yeah.
affect your relationship with money, or is that off the record?
No, it affected my relationship with money because I went in thinking I was gonna make so much money, and I had that idea too of like, okay, well, I can go bust it for 4 months, so I can have a ton of money. And tell me why I ended up broker than when I started. Like, I'm not joking.
Did you owe them?
Not even. It's just I'm not gonna embarrass myself
She's not gonna
because I could. Maybe I should start embarrassing myself.
I'm
But-
sure the girlies have gone through it too.
Some relate. Some could relate.
My credit cards.
Dang.
All I have to say is I was in Austin, Texas.
You were also depressed. And
I
at
was.
that time, shopping was like your, therapy.
Yeah.
It was. And especially after I came back, I was really trying hard to get out of that
Amazon
depression too.
package every day.
And okay, when I came back from sales, and by the way, I sold for 6 weeks and then stopped, but I stayed out in Austin for 4 months. I was sprayed. Okay, that's what I did. I was the person who sprayed the bug spray. Okay. I'm literally embarrassing myself. Anywho,
What?
Okay, I'm sorry, go ahead.
it was the summer I came back, or the fall that I came back. It was when we were living together, and that was the first time that I lived in a place that was modern. Coming from college housing and all the housing that we grew up in, it was the kind of housing where the foundation was older than heaven knows who.
And if only you knew the town we lived in.
And
would
not to
make
mention,
sense.
it doesn't matter how many times you clean that space, it's never going to be really clean.
Yeah.
And so it was so refreshing to live in the space that we lived in. It was so beautiful.
Had a nice kitchen, nice bathroom.
It was newly remodeled, and I wanted to live that soft girl life, that cute girl life. So I bought myself everything, and not to mention we had to furnish everything.
That was tough.
And so I had to buy a new bed, and then I just wanted all the clothes in the world, and everything went downhill.
It did.
Yeah.
It did.
But I'm on my way up.
She's been doing so good. She hasn't bought anything in so long. Had such a minimalist mindset, and I'm so proud of you.
Thank
honestly.
you.
Yeah.
And I'll just share one thing that really helps me is this is what I live by. If I have something already, so for example, I have probably 20 lip glosses. I have just convinced myself that I cannot get another one until I finish those, because what's the point? I'm so excited to be done with all of them, because then I can get a new one. But I already have everything that I need, so I don't need to buy another lip gloss. And that's just one example.
Yeah.
Just one.
I think something else that's really common for people who grew up with poverty and just maybe dysfunctional families or some sort of trauma is that they become adults and they realize they have to teach themselves everything. And one of those things is financial literacy.
Yeah.
And with our immigrant parents, like, they didn't know about banks. Like, we're the ones helping them at the ATM, or we go to the banks with them, we translate, we did this and that. And so I feel like when I became an adult, came to college, and I was like, oh, let me budget. Like, I was so excited to budget and finally take care of myself financially. But then I realized I don't know how to budget. And it's still so hard sometimes to budget and to track my expenses and to do this and that. And I just feel like it's a tough challenge that not many people talk about. Like, I find myself having to tell my clients to be graceful to themselves because they're teaching themselves. It's not something that they were guided through. And finance is not this easy thing where you can just figure out easily in 1 week. It's like an ongoing thing. And so I don't know, what was your guys' experience with just kind of teaching yourself about finances and managing your money?
I mean, I recently got employed,
after being fired. Hey, that's her business. That's her business. That's her
I'm
business.
sorry, but if
So
I
what-
had to be embarrassed. Okay.
That's crazy.
Are we redoing it?
You know what? Whatever. I was fired. And screw the company that fired me. Whatever. Anyway.
It was.
Did you want to expose me? Alright. I recently got hired, and one thing, I mean, I'm pretty young, so I'm not thinking anything too crazy of it, but it's really nice to be the younger sibling because I get to learn from them. And so one thing that I've really been doing, like, April got paid, I got a little check, and I haven't bought anything like materialistic or except for food because they'll know me. But I've really been telling myself, like, I do not need anything. Like, I have everything I need. I don't need anything. And I feel like you can get trapped in such a mindset of, like, oh, but I need this. Or, like, I need this because I don't X, Y, and Z. But, like, I'm good. I don't need anything right now. So I haven't bought anything. So I'm
Yay.
wanting to save my money.
Yeah,
I
and
don't
I'm
know.
gonna say it again. Influencer culture.
Yeah.
Stay away.
Yeah. I loved de-influencing videos so much. It's my favorite thing. But yeah, it's definitely hard with like overconsumption and everything because it makes you think that you need everything. So like it's kind of like trying to sell you a certain type of life, but that's not how you live a life by the things you have. Like it's by the things you do. So
Well, and it's so interesting too because I just think about TikTok. Everyone and their mother. You can scroll through 20 videos, like you,
TikTok shop.
and all of them are something different, and everybody's like, you absolutely need this,
Yeah.
and this one product will blah blah blah. And granted, it's marketing. That's how it
Yeah.
works, but it's sad because it works.
Yeah.
Like the one thing that I bought recently, a couple of weeks ago, that I was influenced by is a hair product because I was like, dang, they are
They got you.
advertising this so well.
They got you.
And it's also interesting too because I love that you're, teaching yourself that you don't need everything because we live in such a modern society where you can have billions and billions of dollars depending on who you are and what you're doing and how moral you are. But do you really need that much money? And I think there's such a fine line between having enough money to have your needs met and some wants, and the other side of that is just having so much money that you don't even know what you're ever going to do with it. Like some people in this world could solve world hunger alone with their net worth.
Yeah.
But yeah.
No, you are.
Honestly, it's ironic because it was during that summer of summer sales.
Yeah.
And
Sometimes you have to go through something and like learn your lesson.
I learned so many lessons, but it was through trauma. I called these two every day. It was so hard. And it's just because sales is hard. Door-to-door sales is literally like a living hell. For me, for others it's not, but to each their own. But I remember writing my notes. I was like, I feel like I'm being brainwashed. Like this is so hard because they definitely instilled in you repeatedly, like you need to work really hard, and if you can't do sales, you're never going to amount to anything else in life. And I remember being like, oh my gosh, like if I can't get out and knock doors today, what am I good for? And so
Dang.
I was really sold the idea that in order to have what I want in life, I have to work really hard, which is so true. But it just didn't have to be sales, and it doesn't have to be sales. But I was surrounded by people who were so money hungry, and
it's almost like you were in that survival mode again, even though like you weren't trying to survive, but that's what they were feeding you.
And that's kind of the idea that I feel like I was also taught out there, was like it's okay to hate your life for a little bit so that you can have what you want later. But I don't believe in that philosophy. I think you can work hard and not sell your soul, and be miserable.
Yeah.
But I was surrounded by people who were smart with money, and it was men. Sales is a male dominated industry for a reason.
Yeah.
I won't even get into that, but I was surrounded by a ton of men who were super like into the idea of having a ton of money and a ton of wealth and investing and properties and all that stuff. And so I did learn so much about money from them. Obviously there's things that I'm like, stay away from me with that. But the idea of saving and investing and actually learning how to control my money, right? If you look at my Goodreads during my summer,
It's giving Rich Dad Poor Dad.
yes, I listened to Rich Dad Poor Dad.
That book is.
I listened to the 4 a.m. or 4-hour work week and all those kinds of books. David Goggins. Anywho, but the one book that I read that summer that actually changed my life financially was
Eat That Frog?
no, God, I read that book years ago. I do love Eat That Frog. But low-key, I'm spacing on the book, but I have it, and you are the one who introduced me to it.
You introduced me to it. It's by a Black author.
Oh, really?
This woman who teaches about finances. Get Good with Money.
Yes, period. Okay, it's called Get Good with Money, and I have never had anything financially explained to me so well, like as well as she did. And she explains everything. She explains how to save, how to budget. She explains how to grow your income.
Y'all
How
read that book?
to yes, she explains investments and how to get out of debt and credit, like everything. She does it so well. And she starts off by talking about how she was once $30,000 in debt or something like that. It was like 20,000 or 30, but it was a lot of money because she fell for a scam. Unfortunately, it happens to all of us. But it was really cool to have that perspective and to know that she did get out of it.
Yeah.
So if she can get out of $30,000 worth of debt, and sorry if I'm saying the wrong number, but if she can get out of debt that deep, then I can too. When
And
I'm not
debt?
even that deep into debt.
It's like when it's that big, it would feel like a freaking nightmare. I would not know how to go on. Like that would depress me.
And she not only went on, but she was able to teach it to other people. Like,
and survive. Yeah.
anywho,
Speaking of scam,
We're not going there.
should we embarrass the third
No,
sister?
It's not happening. Moving on.
Wait, I had more to say. Okay. It's so interesting though, because I think when we were younger, all we thought was to have money, you just needed your profession, right? Whether it's being a doctor, a lawyer, or a therapist.
Right.
All you needed was to have a good job and have a profession. But I think what we're learning now is that yeah, it's not enough. Like, I don't even think being a doctor is enough to survive in this world in terms of not having a ton of debt and XYZ.
and it being a little soul sucking because, like, it feels like
Right.
you can only be a doctor and then that's it. I mean, I'm sure kudos to those who have, figured it out. But just from my point of view, it just seems so hard. Like, it sucks that, like, just wanting to be okay is hard.
And going off of that too, it's like being a doctor means going to med school for 10, 11 years.
And that med school debt, and then you become a doctor
and burnt out
to pay that debt.
Burnt out. Like, a lot of people nowadays, which is why influencer culture is popping, people are realizing I don't want to work 9 to 5 every day.
Yeah.
It's not sustainable. I hate working 9 to 5. I will be the first person to say, I will die on that hill. Like, who wants to be doing something just for money 8 hours a day? And granted, there are people who do what they love. Like, great, that's great for you. But there are things that I want to do with my life.
No, and my freaking day. Like, oh my gosh, I don't want to be in an office for half of my life. Just to retire at 60, I want to turn up now. I was telling Fado that. I was like, retiring at 60, like, to do what? I'm young and smart. Like, I want to have fun now.
Yeah, and so in that sense, I am grateful that people are realizing, okay, there are other ways to make money, to have your money grow, whether it's property or investing in stocks or investing in other things, investing your money alone, and being an influencer, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Content creation, creating.
Yeah.
I love that people are getting into that more. So,
you know what's interesting? Something that I will forever be grateful for is my oldest sister. When I first graduated high school and was coming to college, she made sure that I got like a student credit card, because now I've had it for over 10 plus years, and that's what my good credit comes from. Like, it comes from the longevity of my first credit card. And I never really used that credit card. Like, she didn't tell me what to do with it. She just told me that I needed it. And so I'm forever grateful because even though I didn't understand what was going on, 10 years later, it's benefiting
Shout out
me.
to Rob. For
Shout
real.
out. No,
But
she's a hustler
she
for
really
sure.
is.
She knows her stuff, and so
I mean, she's doing her own business,
Mhm.
and that's the way to
And
go.
she's so brave to do that, especially as a first generation. Like, she quit her job.
Mhm.
Yeah, a job she hated.
Yeah,
Yes.
and like
9 to 5.
our parents relied on her. Everyone was relying on her, and she still, you
As
know,
a
had courage to do
child.
something she loved. Yeah.
Through her
100%.
pregnancy and
Mhm.
everything.
Yeah.
So now she got employees or
No,
whatever.
literally, like
Wow.
it's really impressive.
So it is nice to be younger sisters on that receiving end.
Absolutely.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
She has saved my butt a couple of times.
But I saved my butt. It's really just like
Yeah.
it's like stairs.
It is.
Rahab saved Nels's butt.
She did.
But it was
I wasn't even in trouble, but she just
Yeah.
like prepared me for the future.
Mhm.
You know?
Nelson saved Photo's
I've
butt.
come crying to Dulce plenty of times.
And Fadwa, I literally owe a $10,000 check.
And we're not even gonna get into that. But it's okay.
Shoot.
That's what sisters are here for.
You owe me money too.
Oh, I do. I
But
owe
just
like
kidding.
3 people $20,000. Honestly.
That's
I'm
funny.
just kidding.
Anywho, okay, let's talk about the future
Let's talk about the future.
And
What are the questions for the
where
future?
we're headed in terms of financial literacy.
I'll do rich.
and-
Yeah, I'm very proud of us, honestly, for how far we've come with money. Like, we've learned so much, and we keep getting up and learning.
So yeah, in terms of our future, I really like the idea of building wealth without losing ourselves because, and oh my gosh, we talk about this all the time, but like growing up impoverished was character building for us.
Mhm.
It is the reason why we have some of the characteristics that we have today, because we know what it's like to have hard times, and it's given us empathy, compassion, all that stuff, right? And it's funny because sometimes it's not funny, but sometimes we're like, how do we instill that in our kids
Yeah.
without making them grow up impoverished?
It's true.
But I love the idea of building wealth without losing our character because I love who we are, and I love how genuine we are and down to earth we are.
Yeah.
And I would never want us to forget everything that we went through to get to where we are. But I think it can be so beautiful because we're the type of people where if we gained wealth, we would pass that along. We would share that with other people
100%.
and bring other people with us. And so I would never want us to lose the integrity of who we are.
Yeah, because like honestly, I do want the amount of money that makes me feel so free that I'm able to go and do what I want and all of that. But it's kind of scary sometimes to think about the potential of like getting to that high level and not being able to understand people who are poor or like just below the financial poverty line or something like that. Like I never not want to be so far removed that I don't connect anymore, and that I don't want to ever judge. I don't want to ever like be like, wow, I don't even remember what that was like. Like, nah, fam, nah.
Yeah.
And I also don't want to hurt the environment being rich. Like, I don't envision myself owning a private jet because like that just sounds like
That's just too much.
that's too much. Like, I'll fly first class, but you know,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I really like what you said about bringing people up with us, like especially, I guess personally for me, our parents, like it's so again complicated, but even through all the pain, personally, I'm like I do want to see them just be able to relax because I know how much hardship they've gone through. And it was funny, me and Fido actually were talking about our mom earlier today and how like she's so glamorous, like she loves like her material things, and I love what you were saying, like about not wanting to, you know, turn into a specific type of person. But I think that's the nice thing about having siblings is because at least one of us is gonna bring you down to earth, like at least. So that's really nice. But I always envision myself again, like being financially free. But I won't lie, like I feel like it's hard because overconsumption is a thing, and like all of those things are not good. I do not like that, but I also do. I want to buy a little purse from them, you know. now and then.
Mhm.
But again,
Oh,
that's just
gosh.
where I have people in my life to like help me relax. But also
Yes.
the things I'm learning now will help me.
Mhm.
Like I don't have too many things. Like I don't
Mhm.
think I'm an overconsumer.
Yeah.
And I want to be intentional about the things that I buy
Yeah.
moving forward. So I think that'll help too.
And honestly, when it comes to like gaining a lot of wealth, I just want certain privileges, like being able to like, if we wanted to live in the same compound, we could do that. We could
Yeah.
probably buy land and
Mhm.
build each other's houses near each other.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's a privilege that not many people get. And
Mhm.
so like that's something I would like, you know, being able to like have the freedom and the financial wealth to like go to you guys whenever I need to go, or like go explore the world,
Mhm.
or like go help where I want to help. And
Yeah.
I would love to build a school, do this and that. And so
Mhm.
I don't know.
That's something I'm really excited for, is to help people. Like
Yeah.
that is a really big thing on my heart. I want to be able to help people because
Mhm.
coming from the background, and even if I didn't, I think I would have learned or just felt it in my heart that like it's not people's fault that they're poor.
Yeah.
It's
Mhm.
not. And I'm excited to help people.
Mhm.
No, it's so true. And it's money opens so many doors.
Mhm.
It gives you so many opportunities.
It does.
And like Melissa was saying, you get opportunities to travel and you get to meet people and have experiences.
That's
Yeah.
all what being a human is about.
Yeah.
And also, it's unfortunate, but health you need wealth for, unfortunately.
That's
Oh
another
my
thing.
gosh.
I didn't
So
cover.
that's something that I'm really excited
Yeah,
about.
we didn't even
too,
talk
is-
about that. Like not
Mm.
being able to go to the dentist. That's not something we did frequently. Or going to
Yeah.
the doctor. Or like
Mhm.
me and Fed were talking about how like humans, I guess, we're just so like we fight autoimmune disease and like
Yeah.
for years and years and years.
chronic illnesses.
Yeah, even though
Mm.
we shouldn't
should-
have to.
But people don't have money to go to the doctor.
Yeah.
Or they work a 9 to 5. When are you supposed to go to the doctor when you
Mhm.
work a 9 to 5?
Therapy.
Yeah.
Or therapy. Like
Mhm.
it's so sad
Mhm.
that you
Yeah.
have to have money to do those things.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I understand the idea of working hard, but I also think that there is a toxic undertone to the idea of working hard, because why do I need to work hard when I've already been traumatized? Like
Yeah.
I didn't do anything to be traumatized as a
Mhm.
child, but
Yeah.
now I have to work hard
Mhm.
because of my trauma.
Yeah.
Like I get it.
Yeah.
I'm good. Like we have to work hard regardless.
I don't really get it. Like
Mm.
I think like I'm trying to find like what's good about it, but like
Mhm.
why am I working hard for like Maslow's hierarchy of needs? Like I should not be working for basic things. Like I didn't ask to be here. That was not something that I asked. So yeah, I want some housing and I want some food and water. Like
Yeah.
so, but like for the things that you love and are passionate about, I understand working hard, but
Mhm.
Buki, like it just doesn't make sense in a lot of places, which
Yeah.
it's just the Western mindset and culture.
Mhm.
But
Yeah. So I have two questions. They go in two different paths, but one is about generational wealth and this idea of going back and helping Africa, you know? Being Africans from the motherland and going back to our homeland and helping, because about like white saviorism, it's a lot of white people, and honestly like they're doing a good job, they're doing amazing, very kind to help, but it's also a different thing when you yourself go back and help your people, and I feel like that's something I'm so excited to do. So yeah, part of generational wealth is like helping your own family and your kids and your grandkids and all of that, but I think also expanding that to include our homeland.
yeah,
What do you guys think about helping Africa?
so excited to give back. It's like I feel like I would feel a feeling of like I did this for you, like everything I've ever did. Like I just wanted to be able to help
Yeah.
you and girls like me who like we're just like one decision away from living different lives.
Mhm.
Like I got opportunities that
Mm-hmm.
she didn't or they didn't
Yeah.
for almost really no reason, and so that's like something I want to be able to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's funny because we have a really good friend. His name is Michael, and he's from Haiti.
Yeah.
And he is here studying, and he always talks about how he would like he wants to create a foundation someday so that he can offer scholarships for kids in Haiti so that they can come to the US and study, because they just don't have those opportunities in Haiti.
Yeah.
And it's hard because there's one thing about creating a better Haiti.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a whole nother thing.
Yeah.
But also,
I feel like something that's really helpful too, just with, the political climate and honestly the political climate of the entire world, wherever you go, like, I really like the idea of like helping where your feet touch the ground, and that makes a huge impact. So even if it's like a town that we help or whatever, like we're making an impact.
whether it's the diaspora or people back in Africa.
Yeah.
oh yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah.
I just love the idea of having a foundation and giving out money to
Yeah.
people, because money makes such a big difference.
It does.
Maybe we can make a Lucas Sisters.
Foundation.
Oh my gosh, let's do it.
And like I know you've talked about
School,
Yeah.
school and just creating facilities,
Women's shelters.
yeah, where
Just
they
being
can
able-
access things like therapy and higher education and food.
Yeah.
You know, literally the basic needs.
take away their like survival mode essentially, so that they can flourish and grow.
I have a question too, but I don't know. And these would be 2 questions.
Yeah, and we can save my second question, but my second question was when you know that meme that's going around, or that trend where it's like, when I have money, I won't say it, but you'll know.
Yeah.
I just want to know, like, how will like we know when like Rayan has money, when Photo has money?
We should answer for each other.
Okay, we can answer for each other, but I also
Okay.
want to know for yourself,
Yeah,
like,
you can
how are
tell
you
us
gonna
if we're
show?
right or not.
Yeah. But
Let's
what was
start
your
with Nosa.
question?
Let's do your question and then we can get to mine.
Okay.
Okay, let's start with Nosa. So if Nosa had money, we would know because she would have all the books in the world.
And also would have
A giant library. You so right.
she would have a really niche like fashion sense, like her style.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think.
She would, like lots of books. She would have a library, and like she would have really cool self-care products that you actually need. Like she loves the magnesium for your foot, and like the shower things that like make it lavendery, and she has
This is new,
Sex.
but I think that you would have, you'd be making better sweets, like better desserts
Yeah.
and stuff.
Should
Because you
have-
could buy all the.
She would-
I'm chef.
Should
That's
be
how you would go.
have a
She
kitchen
would have a
aid.
chef. Yep, she'd be eating good.
I'd be eating good and healthy because
Yeah.
chefs know how to make good gluten-free stuff for
Yeah.
some reason. So
Um.
it's so true. I would be traveling so much. You'd be like, "Where is she?
No. Yeah.
Mhm.
Where is she?" Like,
Yes, that's so true.
it'd be bad. It'd be bad.
Yeah.
Be like a new country every 2 years.
Mhm.
Yeah, you guys were
Yeah.
totally right.
Okay.
I feel like photo also, like you would see something like a trend on TikTok and then see photo in it. Like,
What do you mean? How does that
Like-
have to do with money?
no, because you like trends
Are
and
you talking about
stuff.
clothes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so like a trendy outfit
Yep.
that's like going viral, you would see photo in it like the next
But I
day.
would probably like, I don't freaking know, rent it or like give it to therapy.
Yeah,
or give it
this
after,
is
'cause-
all with
Because she
without
has a personality
overconsumption.
change
and-
with that too now. So she
Yeah.
would donate it. She really is minimalistic
Yeah.
now.
Or like because fashion trends last 5 seconds and like
No,
I want to be
truly.
a part of it, but also overconsumption.
Mhm.
Mm.
So
Photo would have the craziest, best meals on planet Earth. She really would.
Mm-hmm.
it's true.
She would know everything about the physical body and what's like good for it.
Photo would have a dietitian.
No,
She would
yeah.
have, like all the doctors.
Everything.
You could
She'd be
think.
going to
My
a
sisters know me.
yeah.
She would have a special dermatologist.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
she would
literally.
have it all.
I would
Mhm.
have
A
them all-
holistic. She would go to a Chinese
Yeah,
medicine
she'd be a
doctor.
really-
Speed dial.
on
Yeah.
call. Like
a really big health freak in
Oh my
a good
gosh.
way.
I would be in gym clothes all the time. I'd be
Yeah.
going to the gym all the time, Pilates all the time.
She'd be a part of Aloe Gym. You'd see her in an
Period.
Aloe. You know what that is?
Pilates too.
Yeah.
Yes, and
Smoothie in hand.
no, literally,
Yeah.
I would just be living my best life.
I think another sign of Photo having money in the future would be like how her and her kids would be decked out.
Yeah.
Like her kids, like
Matching.
matching.
Yeah.
Even as a soccer mom, you know she's not gonna look like your
Yeah.
regular soccer mom. Like
Yeah, another sign
gonna-
her kids would be in so many activities.
her
'cause you have
kids
to
would
have
be
money
in
for that.
so many
Mhm.
activities.
Yeah.
And also, my wigs would always be late.
Period.
Like you would never see me in an ugly wig
Period.
ever. Okay, our queen. If Rio had money, ooh, yeah, she would have all the fashion trends and all the makeup in the world.
She would have all the makeup.
Her makeup would always look so good because she would buy quality makeup.
It's true.
She would also eat really good meals because she would be able to buy all the food that she wants.
Yeah.
She would have a little dirty soda every now and then.
Oh,
Rhea would be having soda every
no,
day.
I really would. But that's not rich. That's if like I could be healthy forever.
Which takes money. So yeah, when you're
True.
rich.
I feel like Rhea would have a creative like room in her house where she'd have a lot of art stuff or
Yeah.
any other thing that she picks up, honestly.
That's what I was gonna say. I'd have different rooms in my house and like lots of tools for the things I like to do. Like I really want to get into makeup artistry and like I love to paint, so I would like have a painting room and like a place to do someone's hair and like those things.
I was also gonna say you would be taking music lessons and you would be
Yes, voice
being asked to sing at different things, and you would be doing people's makeup and hair and nails because you would have the time and the money.
I would be a violinist. Oh my gosh, I want to learn violin.
Yes,
Wow.
I would love to learn another instrument too.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, and we would all just also be traveling.
Yeah.
Oh my
We'll be on that compound, but we're never home.
Okay, that was fun. So my question would be, because they always say it's so easy to picture yourself as a better person, or to say, oh, like when I'm rich, I'm gonna help people. When I'm rich, I'm going to save so much money and XYZ.
Yeah.
So what are you guys doing now? Because I always think that it starts now. It's never gonna start then. But what are you doing now to make sure that you're gonna be that kind of person in the future?
I am the biggest believer in kindness towards other people, and I'm not gonna like go on a whole spiel, but I think kindness towards other humans like saves people's lives and makes people's day, and it's like one of those little things that really makes the world go round. So that's what I feel like just helping people that need it means a lot to me, and I feel like it helps me grow in other ways as well.
Yeah. I feel like for me, service can be hard in terms of like giving my time, but I give money very easily. And so I could see myself like easily donating and like giving. But maybe when I'm richer, I'll have more time, and then serving and giving my time won't be as hard, if that makes sense. Because I only have so much energy today, which honestly is something I do want to work on. I don't want it to be an excuse. I do need to be going and finding a place to volunteer and help and all of that, because giving my time is also really, really important, and I do want to connect with people. But so yeah, that's something I can improve on, and I can just see myself giving money anyways because it's something I already do.
Yeah, it's also a good sign that you know that like those are things you want to do, but also even after you've been so tired of like all the things you've been through. So
yeah, for sure.
I think things that I'm doing is trying to educate myself. Because I think staying educated is so important, and it's going to be the best mechanism to be able to help other people when you know what's going on. And I also think trying to be better with money right now is helping me so that I can, when I have more money,
do the right things.
Can like have the good habit of being good with my money. And also, I guess I just also got thinking, like, if we really do want to start a foundation someday, like, what are we doing now for it? Like, I'm like, could I start a mini foundation now? Could I learn how to get sponsors and do research and figure out where I would want to pour into. And I think also in order to start a foundation, it would take going to places to figure out what the people there actually need. And really, really understanding. And so I'm glad we had this conversation because it's got me thinking.
I also think this is something that we're doing too,
Yeah. And something else I was thinking about is I love language learning and connecting with other people. And so I feel like really increasing my language abilities is going to help me when I do go back and build like a women's shelter in like Sudan or something, right? Like I cannot forget to speak Arabic. I don't want a translator. I want to be the one that's speaking to the people that are working with me and the people that I'm helping or that we're helping in the future. And so like just really doing my best with French and Arabic, I think, is something I'm also preparing with.
Amen. Well, this has been such a fun conversation
Yeah.
about finances and
Yeah.
all things money. I'm really happy that we were able to talk about like our past, present, future, and I'm really excited to see where we continue to go. If you guys have any thoughts, anything that you've learned financial wise, or anything that you're learning or doing, like we'd love to know and hear about. No gatekeeping, right? But yeah, feel free to comment down below. Please like this video and share with anyone that you can think of that would enjoy this video. But thanks so much, you guys, for watching and supporting us. We appreciate you guys.
Yes.
See you next time.
Bye.